Welcome to What's the Effort?
What the effort?
Hello, everyone. Welcome. I am happy to be here today, but I will say it now. I'm sorry I'm not 100%. I'm actually not well, but that's the good thing about Zoom. I don't have to cancel because I don't have to worry about getting Cathy sick or any of my audience. So that's the good news. So nice to see you again. And I would like to say thank you so much, Cathy. Cathy Craig is my guest today, and she's a very special guest. She is trailblazer from the get-go. She's a gator, but I'm sure she'll be a sub 2 also in the future. But anyone who needs money might want to know about Cathy. And I welcome her very, very much. I'm really honored to have you here.
Oh, thank you. I love being here with you. I really appreciate it. You've been a pleasure and an inspiration and a cheerleader from the very beginning. And I really appreciate you.
Well, thank you. I feel the same way. As a matter of fact, I was just saying before the show went live that I wish I was in Southern California because Chicago's so freaking cold. I'm blaming the cold, for being sick. I don't like it at all. But anyhow, let's get to you. I know that you have been very active in your entire life. And as a matter of fact, when we had talked at one point, you had said you're a serial entrepreneur. And I thought, wow, that I like.
Yes, I have
Talk
been.
to us about when you first started. Just a little bit, like how young were you when you started?
I was about 12 or 13, and I was living with my mom after my parents got divorced in a little apartment in Encino. And the apartment was recessed down a little bit, so there was a grass area in front. And I got the brilliant idea to sell candy out of my window. So my dad took me to Smart and Final, and we got like a big, like an oversized banker's box. And I took one of each candy and I put it on the top and put prices. After school, I opened my window and boy, they came coming, and it was so fun. And
what would you do? Drop it down or was it at their level?
Close the window. But the way that the kind of the building was situated, it was perfect. They could just walk right up. And it was cool. Fantastic. So that was kind of the first. And I would call my dad. Okay, Dad, I sold out. Let's go buy more. Come on, let's keep going and going. And it was really fun. And I'm like, I kind of like this working for myself business thing. And
nice.
But all through in college, we sold T-shirts, to different sororities and fraternities to make money. I had student loans till I was 30. So I needed some way to kind of help offset college a little bit. And it was a lot of fun, but I've always worked for myself, or let me qualify, for my dad. I worked for him after college for many, many years. And that was, there really are no words. It was the greatest joy of my life to be working with my dad.
Let's talk a little bit about before then. Wait, I'm sorry, Hank, bear with me.
Sure.
Because I usually like to ask my guests about their early years. And you were kind enough. I have a few pictures. Now, this is so sweet. Is it an album or is it a frame?
It's actually a little frame. And my mom used that picture for my Sweet 16. All of my guests, we all had baby pictures, and that's how you identified where you were sitting. But that picture was one of my very favorite baby pictures. And my mom said it was like Kodak Baby of the Year picture once upon a time or something. And I'm like, wow.
Nice.
But yeah, I grew up in LA in the Hollywood Hills in Studio City. And it was just a very special time. It was great. It was great.
Perfect for that sort of thing, for sure. Yeah. Look at the eye contact you have. It's
so great. I'm like, wait, what? Who's looking at me?
Yes. Gotcha.
Yep.
And this is a very precious picture. How old were you here?
I was probably 2 or 3, and those fingers were stuck in my mouth for years. They were not coming out. They just were not coming out.
Well, you know what? It's better than the thumb.
Absolutely. It was never the thumb. It was always the fingers. But
I love your doll. Was that a
yes.
Chatty Cathy?
I think it is. You know, I'm sure that they got that because of my name, and they're like, "Oh, there you go, kid." But
Nice.
yeah, I love it.
Very nice.
Thanks.
And you can, you know what? It looks like you already.
It does, doesn't it?
Sometimes, yeah. Because sometimes you see pictures of a young child and you're like, oh, that doesn't look like her now, you know, but you can see the resemblance very much so.
Yeah.
And now we're talking, I would say, is this high school?
It was high school. Yep. Probably
nice.
like 16, 17, I would say. Yeah.
Cool. So at this point, you weren't selling candy anymore.
No, I was not selling candy anymore. At one point, I evolved to selling and painting those kind of ceramic figures that you would see at like Color Me Mine these days. And somehow there were stores and we had like a hobby store and go there, buy them. And, you know, I thought, well, I could just paint them and then I would resell them. So that was really, really fun too. Always thinking of fun ways.
Well, that's good. That is good.
Oh, I know.
This is cool.
That's college. Yes.
So college.
That
you
is
were
college.
A drummer.
I was in a sorority, and that was during rush when you have to, you know, all the girls that are rushing go through. And I had always wanted to be in the Go-Go's as a drummer. Like that was my jam. My whole life, I'm like, come on, let's go. But I love that. It's really funny. And our sorority mascot was Hannah. So kind of like the Raggedy Ann doll. But yeah, that captured the spirit of college right there, big time.
There must be something about drumming because you look so happy. And do you know who Wes Grant is by any chance?
I do know the name. Yes, I don't think I had the pleasure.
When I had him on here, he's a drummer, and he showed me. He gave me a picture of his drumming in a bomb outfit. Like, he used to take bombs apart. He worked for the police department, the county or whatever, and he was drumming away in this whole gear. It was such an oxymoron. I said, "What the ever transpired to get this picture?" And he said, "Well, we had done, taking apart a bomb, and I look over and there's a drum set." And I said, "Oh, I got to get on that. I don't think I'll ever be in uniform and be able to have a drum set." So it was a film, and it's still on that episode. It was so fun. But like you, he just looked like, even though he was dressed up in this whole bomb gear, you could tell he was having a riot.
It was so fun. And when I resurrected this picture for you, I'm like, I need to add that to my wish list one day and just try again. Just do it for fun. It's very therapeutic. It was fun, and it probably sounded terrible, but who cares? It was really fun. And it was definitely, me, I'm the music girl. I'm the Mamma Mia. Like, I'm a music nerd all day long.
I hope you enjoyed that advert.
Yes, I did. I did.
Oh, yeah. And the same time frame now? Or we
probably a little bit before, maybe a little more like late high school, a dorky, Christmas with the family kind of a thing.
Sure looks like fun though.
It was fun.
And then we've got the hot doggity dogs and with the Village People. Yes. I just love this.
Thank you.
It's so much fun.
It was a blast. We're back in college and we did a competition, and it was like a lip sync competition, and we were the Village People. And it was a sorority competition all across all the different sororities for a local fraternity. And we actually won with our crazy routine. And it was really fun. It was really fun. We did some crazy stuff there in college for sure.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun. Very, very posing. And
we were playing the part there for sure.
For sure.
Sure.
Now you finished college, and what did you study in university or college?
I did. I was a public administration major with an emphasis in sociology and human resources. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay. Well, you
Yep.
think that it seems like a sellable skill. Did you go to work for using that skill set?
I did not. I actually did an internship right out of college for a record label in their artist and A&R department. And the people there were very grumpy and just not very nice. So you walk in and you say good morning and you don't even exist. So my dad looked at me and said, so kid, love you. What are you going to do with yourself? Oh, I don't know. I have a brother who's a doctor and everybody had career choices, and then there's me. So he goes, come on, kid, So I went to work for him and for many years, and then ended up buying the business from him with a couple partners. And we turned it year 1, 6 million to 12 million 1 year. So it was pretty, yeah.
What? Wait.
Crazy.
Okay, you're frozen on me just a little bit.
Sorry.
But did you say you grew the family business from 6 million to 12 million in 1 year?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's freaking awesome.
It was great.
That's freaking awesome.
What
did you do to grow it?
It was a whirlwind. We did commercial flooring for very large companies, more, Universal Studios, Warner Brothers, Nordstrom's, big developers in LA, all over. And the partners that came in with me to buy my dad out, kind of like it was really creative finance. They carried, we paid them monthly, gave them a little down payment. It was fascinating. And we just were on fire. We just said, let's go. My dad and his partner were winding down, and to really do significant growth when they were really ready to retire just was never on their radar. They were very happy kind of keeping the status quo. And then you get, a couple knuckleheads in there who are like, it's go time. I was in my 30s and we were just on fire. And, I was probably one of the top female sales women in the country for commercial flooring, doing about 5 million a year at a couple years. And it's still a blur. I don't even,
Was your marketplace in California or everywhere?
LA, all LA. And I did all the Nordstroms in Southern California. So we really went from like Santa Barbara down to San Diego and then inland. We didn't cast a really wide circle. We were just really, really good, really efficient. We had great guys that worked for us, and it was 7 days a week. You just don't rest. Because we do jobs off hours and odd times. And it was a blast.
So how long did you do that for?
I did that with my partners for about 3 years. And I recognized that I made quite a few mistakes. My partners,
Cathy. Can
we
you
didn't
slow,
align.
Can you wait a minute, slow down just a little bit? If you're in the audience, please let me know. Is it just me or is Cathy glitching a little bit? And it could be my internet, but it could also be yours. Just speak a little bit more slowly.
Sure. So my partners, I realized I had made a mistake with them. They were good guys. We just weren't aligned anymore. Their method of doing business was different than mine. So I left the business, and unfortunately 9 months after I left, they closed the doors of a business that had started in 1963, which was tragic. So I was right on one hand that our business didn't align because they closed 9 months after I left, and it was just time. I needed to.
Are you kidding? 9 months after you left?
Yep. They closed their doors.
Oh, that must have been painful for you.
Very painful. Yeah, it was
what
really.
What did your dad say?
He was devastated. And it was a lot of mixed emotions about it. I was really proud of what we had accomplished and done, and
Mhm.
really happy that we could buy my dad and his partner out, because it preserved their retirement, because it was not a sellable business for the most part. But it was a tough one. It was really, really hard. I used to go to the office with my dad when I was 4 years old and sleep under his feet. And, that was our whole life. It was sad,
Wow.
but it was time to
That
go.
is right.
It was time. And I just
Yeah.
then kind of went out on my own and did consulting and project management, move management for Warner Brothers and Nordstrom's and, a lot of big
Oh.
companies. So,
Cool.
yeah.
Thank you, Melissa.
Hi,
Sweet of you.
Melissa. And that was
How did you like
I liked it a lot. I did like it a lot. It was a little lonely at times, when you're a solopreneur, basically, but I liked being able to do my own thing. And it was a lot of fun. And, being in construction in Southern California is a little rough sometimes, the workers' comp and the laws and all that was a little difficult to navigate alone. But I made sure that we did everything right. And it was successful for many years, really was. And
Good.
it was really fun. It was fun.
Nice. Did you ever go into the commercial real estate again?
I did not. I just
Okay.
stuck with the consulting for a few years, and then it was time for that season to come to an end as well.
I gotcha. So
Yep.
what did you do after that point?
So after that point, life fell apart, and my aunt passed away. A few weeks later, my mom passed away. My dad got sick. My niece, unfortunately, committed suicide. Then my dad passed away. I had to close my business because I trusted someone to help me during that time, and they didn't. And that's on me. And I just fell apart. And then I got sick for a year and almost died. I was
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How did you get so much bad luck? I mean, to have that many family members all passing and then you getting sick, you must have been scared out of your bejeebies, that you might also be going.
For sure. There was, it was a very, very scary time, that all of the stress, and there was a lawsuit involved with family over everything, and losing the business and everybody passing away. It was a lot for me to take. And I physically and mentally just was going down like the Titanic. And I don't.
How long did you suffer?
For a good year was really, really kind of the crux of it. And then I still have a few little things that I still struggle with a little bit, but for the most part, after 8 doctors and hundreds of vials of blood, and I went on a natural holistic journey, coupled with some Western medicine. It was a little combo of Eastern and Western, and that really helped. And it was a lot of prayer, and thanks to God, and faith and family, and it's been a really hard journey. I do still suffer from
I'm sure it must have been.
It was.
Tell me what the doctors thought.
It was some inflammatory issue. So I had liver, kidney, pre-diabetic, adrenal failure. I had a rash all over my body. I would get fever spikes to 103.
Wow.
I couldn't walk.
Was it itchy?
No, it wasn't itchy. It was just yucky. And it would show up at the same time, but no. Yeah. Oop, you got me?
This is a strange connection. Oh, there we go.
Oh.
Sorry, Cathy.
That's okay.
I thought I lost you.
A little glitch.
Yeah.
I couldn't put clothes on. I couldn't walk. I couldn't open a water bottle. I couldn't open, I couldn't hold anything in my hands. no cooking, no shoes, no lifting up workout pants. It
Were
was,
you at home or were you in the hospital?
I was at home, and it was all of 2020. It started the end of 2019.
Wow.
So, and then they found a tumor in my fallopian tube the size of like a hot dog. So I was a mess. And my inflammatory numbers were really high, and all of those things, it was some type of a response to the stress that
Oh, I
just,
see. When you
yeah.
have that many people dying, even just one can put you into a real difficult situation, but you had so many. How did your body finally start to work out of it?
It was a really interesting regimen from the holistic doctor, and very strict, wake up, take this, 20 minutes later, take that. And then I also incorporated Enbrel, which is like from the Western medication. And I take hydroxychloroquine, and I was on methotrexate for a while, which is kind of like used sometimes in cancer treatments. And
Yeah.
that was a little rough. And then I just changed diet and made my own tinctures and herbal remedies. And that has really helped me a lot to
Good.
I've weaned off of the yucky medication. And now I'm like the mad scientist with my tinctures. So
How long ago is it behind you now? Was it finished in 2020 or did it carry on?
it carried on for a couple of years. I still have a little bit of problem with my hands. I don't quite have, that's the only long term, is I just don't have the dexterity that I used to. But as long as I can swing a golf club, I'm good. So I can.
Nice. I love it.
That's a good one.
I love it.
Yeah.
So when did you lean towards doing something with real estate with your sister?
It really came from her. She was kind of looking for other things to do, and she had found another community and mentorship that she had joined. And then, of course, because Pace is magical, he shows up in your feeds, your Facebook or Instagram. So
I'm not sure that that's Pace. I think it's the algorithm.
It is the algorithm for sure. And we stumbled across him and just said, hey, whoa, like it was that magical moment. So got involved with that. And I love, helping her and supporting her. And we're a good team and we have different strengths. So I just, find opportunities for her, and she jumps on it. And, I love building her up and helping her. And at some point, I'll be, doing some stuff on my own. But for now, I love that we can just help each other. And, I was in a really dark place, and she really helped me get out of it. And this community helped me. I was suicidal. I was, suffering from trauma and complex PTSD and all the things. And she could recognize that and knew that this could be a really good place for me to just start to get my footing again and grow. And I go slowly, because I'm still dealing with my stuff and working on my journey of self-discovery and getting better. And we've been a good team, and I love helping and supporting her and helping her to achieve her retirement goals and dreams. And
Nice. I love a good sister team. That's awesome. Is she younger or older than you?
She's older than me. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, that is really, really good. And I'm assuming that you're both working in Gator.
Correct. Yep. I'm happy to spend her money and help her for sure.
What are sisters for?
That's right.
I love it. So tell me a little bit about Gator. I mean, I joined Gator just before it was even starting. And I'm also in sub 2, and I'm not part of the owners club though. So talk to me about your experience in Gator.
It's been amazing. It's been a great learning experience for, she like when we find something that might interest her, we evaluate, we learn, we've kind of honing our skills, and we reach out to people in the community. We are both in Gator Elite, and that has really been
Nice.
very helpful to connect with different people. And we just kind of hop into different Zooms and learn and meet different people and network. And we're still learning. It's evolving. The tools and everything throughout the months, as times change and opportunities change, we learn more and more. And we're part of a mastermind group that we do deals together and we learn together. It's really, really fun. Yeah.
Wow. So that's cool.
Is
it all in the same proximity as you?
The mastermind is online, but we have a meetup group here in Southern California that we are part of every week. It's not monthly.
Tell me about the mastermind.
The mastermind is online, and we all get together, and we just help each other. And hey, do you have a deal? Do you have a deal? And let's try to do things together and just learn and grow and evaluate. And
nice.
Yeah, we're hopeful.
Are they all in Gator?
They are. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's really, when you're in a small group environment and you can talk and just be raw and, kind of unfiltered, uncensored, no questions, a dumb question. Cause I ask a lot of questions. I'm like, is this a dumb question? They're like, no, because, we're still learning and, we're building our mental war chest and tool chest.
Good.
To be better and to help. And, she's made some great decisions and really working to just help her to grow. And, I can't wait to jump on board and do some stuff.
Tell me what sort of things that you guys have done or that she has done. And
she did a really great deal in Montana. That was a lot of fun. And she's in
PML or EMD?
It was a PML for, it was a beautiful home, and, the weather kicked in and things ran a little bit late, but.
Oh yeah. Montana, forget it.
Yep.
Pace was complaining about getting skilled labor was ridiculous. And, he just took his whole team up, from Arizona to be able to get things done because he thought that they charged way too much money in Montana and they worked too slowly. And then you had to fight the winter. So I was like, things to remember.
Absolutely. And she was connected with a really great connector who was so just communicative and responsive and really present. And, I love kind of listening in and, just being nosy and learning a lot. And it was really, really good. It was a great experience.
Who the connector was?
Sure. Jeremy Smith.
Okay.
And he was fantastic.
Nice.
Fantastic. Yeah.
The reason I say that is because, in my opinion, there aren't enough. I don't like the word connector. Pace used to get on me when I first joined the group because I am quite well connected and he wanted me to charge. And I was like, I'm not charging for connecting. I'm just doing this as a favor. And if I do anything, I'll charge part of the deal. Like give me 3% or 5% or something like that. I didn't want to, charge money. And then I don't know if in sub 2 you had heard about the Kyle fiasco.
Oh yeah. Many people in our weekly meetup were involved with that. So yes.
And you know what? It wouldn't have been possible if it hadn't been for the change in the way that the community was accepting connectors. And I didn't think it was all right for connectors to just be so happy that this guy had a lot of deals that they didn't really vet him. They didn't really do the work they should have. It's good to know that Jeremy's a good connector because too many of them are after the fee and they're, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. And then they're out. And I think that that's where problems happen. And when this whole thing happened with Kyle, I was curious. I was like, hey, the connectors, are they giving back their fee? What should I give my feedback for? It wasn't my fault. I was like, listen here, you little bugger. You also took your lender by the hand and fed him to the walls. And you're going to keep that money? Okay. I still have a blacklist of those guys. I'm like, no.
Oh,
sorry.
yeah, for sure. For
Since
sure.
then, it's changed somewhat, but where people are expected to be responsible as connectors. But I mean, too many people think it's so easy, and that it should be easy. I had someone. I'm in the white glove Gator Elite also.
Mhm.
And I had someone call me and say, "Hey, I'm in Gator, and you know what? I know a lot of people. I understand that. Are you part of it?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm in it. How about I bring my people to you and you pay me a fee?" I was like, "You are joking, right?"
Mhm.
I've never met her, never had a conversation. Melissa's being funny. I was like, "You think I'm going to put my reputation on the line so you can make some kind of a fee? You obviously are too fast and willing to jump into bed. How do you know that I'm a decent person?"
Absolutely.
So that sort of thing, it needs to be eliminated altogether, but it's gotten better. So I'm glad, I'd like to give a shout out to the people who are doing it well.
He was so good, and me kind of observing from the sidelines essentially was really, really helpful, because I think one of my superpowers is kind of networking and marketing and connecting, but it's in a very different capacity in my old career versus now. So learning and trying to be respectful of what that means in the community now is been really, really eye-opening and fascinating, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And the thing is that this community is still relatively new, even though we're really big.
Mhm.
So, this person should stop trying to reach out to me, because I'm not going to tell her to get lost. I just think she'll get it at some point, because, I just don't want to. But the thing is, you got to earn the relationship. And she's leading with, "Hey, give me money." It's funny. It's not funny. I mean, it's sad. But, I do think that, I think when we talked at one point, it was before Melissa Palmer had started the safety badge.
Yes.
And that all came about because of Kyle and Jonathan Newsom and some of the other people that, cut Pace's wrath. So of course he can't be a policeman. He can't be there the whole time directing everyone. But once she came on the scene and started talking about vet the lender, vet the deal, vet the borrower, and if there's a connector, vet them. And does it underwrite properly? Base it on the deal itself. All that sort of stuff. I think that it's calmed down some.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I agree. And it's about building relationships, and that's why meeting people in person and doing this meetup, I learn something all the time that I'm getting more and more well armed and more knowledgeable. And if you can mitigate somebody else getting hurt, that is huge as well. But we really do learn a lot when you meet people in person. And that's how, I just don't want you to send me a friend request. Who are you? What are you about? And that relationship building is everything. It really is everything.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
So you did a PML in Montana.
Mm-hmm.
How many months was that?
Oh, I think it was probably 6 or 7 months.
Nice.
Yeah. So she was really happy. It worked out great.
What else have you done? Have you done anything else?
There's another one that she's in that's just like most, running behind, and there's a couple that she's waiting to get back. And then it's
any concern about getting them back, or is it just that it's slow?
One, there definitely is. And the other two or three, nope, not one concern. They're all good. The other ones just running late, which is okay.
With the one that there's concern,
Mhm.
are you positioned such that you can save yourself?
No, it was one of the first deals that she got into, and it's a small amount for
That's
her,
good.
thank goodness.
Yeah.
And it's been, she's calling it, the lessons is kind of continuing education. It was been a great learning experience, and there's things that she's learned that, and I've learned, so that when we talk about things for her together, that she'll never do again. So it's been a really, really good learning lesson. And
I'm
it's
assuming she's not in first position.
correct.
Yeah. I was so worried about everything that was happening with lending that I only lent to people that I really trusted. And, I did 30, 40,000 PMLs, that sort of thing. I did some EMDs, and they were fine, but they weren't worth the trouble, as far as I was concerned. But the PMLs were good, but I was still anxious because I wanted to make it a business. So, can I not lend? Like, what should I be doing? Well, as things got cleared up somewhat, I also went to some masterminds for PML, and that made a big difference. And when Abraham and Alexis and Chai and Prakash in Houston were telling us, I've been to a number of theirs, but that one was in person. And we're saying, first position only. If you want to do second position, it's going to be very high risk. So you have to cross collateralize. You got to charge for it. You have to underwrite very conservatively. Well, once that, kind of sunk in, I thought, oh, it's okay. Especially fix and flippers. But, even buy and holds where they buy it and they want to hold on to it. You just have to underwrite it very conservatively. Yep. And only be willing to lend to a certain ratio if you believe in the person and if you believe in the property. But one of the things that Abraham taught me is you lend to own. So you only lend on things you want to own. Yeah. And of course, you don't want your partners to fail. But the whole idea is, if they do fail, are you going to begrudge them because this is a tiny house, an RV or something that you're not interested in? And then you're like, oh, dang, I'm stuck with this thing. You have to lend on something that if it does go bad, you're like, okay, I did even better because I'm going to foreclose. And I had always been hesitant to think about foreclosing. Yeah. But now I know that every time I lend, I just have to say, look, you got to be ready. I'm going to foreclose if you are late.
Absolutely.
Don't tell me things are getting slowed down. Just know that this is what's going to happen. And if we're there, I'm going to go to here. And we go to here, I'm going to foreclose. Period. Are you sure you want to borrow from me?
Yeah, no, you're right. It's been such a great learning experience for her.
There's so many people that want to borrow. Why lend to someone who would be like, oh, wait a minute. So we're calling it a 4-month loan and you're saying that you'll extend to 6, but then you're going to foreclose? Oh, that's so nasty. I don't want your money. Good. Go find somebody else.
Absolutely. And, it makes you think, and, she's had to reevaluate like her risk tolerance and where she's at. And, I applaud PACE for, the initiating different and better training. A lot of these deals that are compromised were all from late last year. And things have evolved so much in the last year that, he recognized the challenges and has stepped up to help. And then being part of little smaller, sub communities amongst ourselves has really helped, because you sit around the table and you break bread and you have a glass of wine and you talk about deals and, you talk about things face to face, and that
exactly
really makes a big difference.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. I think that is a very important aspect. And, Gator when it first started, it had 0. And, it jumped right away to like 2000 or something like that. But now it's the same size as sub 2.
Yeah, 10,000, 11,000 now, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to actually let's take a look at the numbers.
Yeah.
It is pretty amazing. Actually, I better not, because things might start dinging. But, but yeah, I have to say, now the thing is that with sub 2, I think part of the reason it may have slowed down is just because we have a new option with Owners Club, and you don't have to be in sub 2. So some people that might have joined sub 2 that went directly for, the very close relationship with Pace and with the Owners Club, but Gator's still growing like crazy. And I think that says something about the power of money.
Yeah, it's definitely growing. And, I applaud Pace, and Carly does a great job of,
Carly's awesome.
The newbies. And, it's, you have to walk before you can run, and you really have to take the time and the care to do the training and reach out to people and the right people. We kind of joke, I don't need a lot of friends. I just need the right friends.
There you go.
And that's really important. And figuring out what, I like to figure out what I don't want to do almost as much as what I do want to do. Because that really,
it's as valuable. It's as valuable.
It is. It is.
Stuck doing things you don't want to do. And then you start taking, chances that you wouldn't take, things like that, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you guys are going to continue. What do you think about 2025? Have you guys decided what if it's going to be a pullback or bear? What are you thinking?
She's really interested in maybe doing something internationally a little bit to kind of explore that. I don't know. I'm hoping, she'll want to try to find a couple of homestead properties so I could become a tenant of hers and she'd be my landlord. And, my niece at some point, I think she'd love to get a house for her sub 2, which would be amazing. I think next year is exciting. I think there's a lot of really amazing opportunities. It's kind of a year of a little self-discovery and figuring that out. I still have this crazy idea that at some point it'd be great to do like a Golden Girls, house for all of us, girls.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sorority sisters with, either empty nest or not married and no kids that like, come on, let's build a compound together.
Totally. And I think that, out of curiosity, where internationally is she interested? Do you know?
She loves Italy.
Nice.
As do I. I'm like, oh, okay. If you want to go, I'll come visit and stay there. Portugal, Spain.
Oh, wow.
It's just the lifestyle is not as hectic. The food is way better. It's, it's a much from the culinary palate side. It's great. It's healthier for you. And,
also the areas you just mentioned, Portugal and Spain and Italy, they have a large expat group.
Huge expat.
Especially like Portugal. There's the standard of living is quite high and health and everything else, but the cost of living is not very high. Yeah. So a lot of Americans do like that. So it's interesting to see that if you were catering to Americans, then you'd probably do quite well.
Yeah.
That's cool. Spain is awesome. Yeah, very nice.
She's closer to retirement age than I am. And for her just to be happy, and it would be so great. She could just, sometimes you just got to explore something new and just get out of your comfort zone and do it. Life is a blessing and a journey and a gift. And, we've been in LA our whole life. So there's a big world out there. It's a big world.
There is, although LA is pretty big itself, but yes, I love, that I want to live in Monterey, right?
Oh, yes.
The Monterey Peninsula, right? I think that is so gorgeous.
It's the best.
Yeah, it's very nice. I don't really like the bigness of LA. I love like the Disney theater and stuff like that. Those are beautiful, beautiful things. But I don't really want to live in a place where there's so much traffic. It's like here, there's so much traffic. So I do like oceans and I like hills and mountains. So, I wouldn't mind that at all, to be honest.
It's Carmel, Monterey. That is magical. That is heaven on earth right there.
Yeah. It's just this big buckaroo. So
it is.
I'm starting to put my feelers out because, I'd like to just be someplace I really want to be too.
Yeah.
And I'm going to just kidnap that baby.
Period. There you go. That's right.
I have to edit that.
I didn't hear anything. I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah. Bleep, bleep, bleep.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Wow. So tell me do you do anything outside of real estate?
I do. I am the executive director of a nonprofit.
Wow.
In Southern California, that it's really the first time I've had a boss, which is kind of fun. So it's been a really interesting journey. I did some volunteer work for about 5 years for the Battle Buddy Foundation and raised.
What are Battle Buddies?
They provided service dogs to combat veterans at no charge to the veteran.
Oh, nice.
So I think I raised probably close to $1 million for them over the course of a few years, and put on golf tournaments and fundraisers. The veterans are near and dear to me. And then I was approached by this foundation here in Southern California and said, hey, do you want to come, come get a job and work for us part-time? And as I was rebuilding my health and trying to rebuild my life, I said, I'd love to. And
awesome.
The impact that we're making is amazing in my community, and I'm really proud of it. And I do love it.
Is that with veterans?
It is not specifically with veterans. It is with veterans, seniors, kids in foster care, kids who age out of foster care, single moms. I can actually equate it to Gator. Is like we're a gap. We just fill in the gap for people who run into a crisis or an emergency situation, and we can help them during that gap period until they can find some long-term supportive support and care.
Nice. So, I love that about PACE and Gator and Sub 2 and TC and all the communities. The fact that they have developed, it wasn't at the very beginning as far as I could see, but they have developed a social responsibility, a type of we want to do some social good, not just for our pocket. And what we do is helping people by giving them, like gap funding. Of course, we're going to charge for it and such, but I mean, we're helping people, not to have to foreclose and all that. So it's in the helping business. It's not one way. But when you talk about nonprofits and, donating your time, I think that is something that PACE, I think he started it 1.5 years ago, maybe not last Thanksgiving, but the one before, and I think that is a really good thing. Yeah. Social sense to be able to say you've got a social responsibility.
Yeah. And I think that's why the community resonated with my sister and I as well, because that's how we were raised. Our dad was a very philanthropic man. He did hospice care and worked with kids with cerebral palsy. And we grew up with that mentality and with that culture. So nice. It was a seamless integration into this community, to do that as well. It's just part of who we are, is to just give back and to help. And
that's great.
Great.
That's really, really awesome.
Yeah.
And I see people like Chino and Jason Lombardi and all these other people that just step up, and Rory De Silva, all these people that just do things. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome.
I love it. I love it.
Because it's so good to be able to do something. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So you're hoping that your sister may look at international real estate next year. She may be buying a homestead for you, possibly. Now, with that homestead, Cathy, I think you need to take it to her on a silver platter. I think you should start looking for a homestead deal. And, I'd be happy to help you since I'm in sub 2, to get your buy box. What is it that you're looking for? And just keep posting it. And when it comes along and it's a good deal, then you can say, hey, sis, look at this.
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of have this crazy idea to, maybe go and visit some different cities for a couple weeks here and there, just to kind of feel the vibe and the culture, and, kind of go on that eat, pray, love year kind of a thing, and just go travel and see what's out there. And the great thing with this community is there's people all over the country. So just to
absolutely.
meet people and have that social component. And, I don't know, I'm feeling a little restless right now in my life, and just trying to figure out where I want to go and where I fit in. And, weather is a little bit of a factor for me and with my health. And I just am mindful of that as well. And I don't know really what it looks like, but I'm excited. I think next year is going to be a good year.
Yeah, I'm expecting it to be a very good year too. When you think of someone like Carly, and Austin Marvel?
I do not know.
Okay. He's in sub 2, and he does he's a professional photographer by trade. But he likes land, and he's into buying land and developing it and stuff like that. So they're always on the go. They've got the kids with them, and they're on the go. How cool is that?
I love that. I love it. I think it would be just fun and amazing. And this community has inspired me to learn and to grow and to be better, and to kind of figure out what I want to do next. What's the next chapter? And
right.
It's really pretty exciting. And to go on this journey with my sister and kind of help her in her way. And then at some point, we can she'll reciprocate. And when I'm ready, help me. And we could, become a dynamic duo and do it. It's kind of exciting.
Of course. Especially since it'll be like the second time around for you.
Yeah.
Sure. You'll get the benefit of that learning.
Yeah.
And that's good.
Yeah.
Now, I'm glad that you posted your IG.
Mm-hmm.
So guys, here she is on IG. Please go and follow her. And I thank you for that very much.
You're welcome.
Are you on YouTube?
I am not on YouTube, just on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook.
Okay. That's great. That's wonderful. Well, if your sister does go international, I highly recommend you open up a little YouTube and start shooting.
Yeah.
Document off everything, off everything.
Yeah. I'll tell her that when tax time comes around. It could help her in the next couple of years. Just
absolutely. Because
document it all.
Yes, because those of you who don't know, having a podcast is not for the faint-hearted.
Yeah.
It adds up, man. StreamYard's not that much. It's only like $100 a month. But I got a light thing. And I found out that normally the light bulb costs $1,000 for one light bulb.
Wow.
But I'm going to go with something much cheaper. But, besides the time and the research and everything else, you've got all these costs that add up. Yeah. So, I know that Pace makes money because he's got such an audience, but this is not for making money. This is for having the opportunity to talk to you. And I can write this stuff off, so, you guys can talk to each other, talk about what you think of a place, what you think of a restaurant, post it on your YouTube, pay somebody to post it for you. And then you can just write that all off because you had to incur expenses. So I highly recommend it for that, for sure.
It's a great idea. I'll tell her she's, find the right CPA that can, help you with all the creative stuff.
Exactly. And what about Squat Up? Are you guys going to Squat Up?
I am definitely going to go to Squat Up. Yes.
And is your sister going?
I don't think she's going to go. Her daughter just moved to Texas, so been traveling back and forth to kind of help her get settled and get organized, and so
Okay.
I can go and report back and give her marching orders and assignments and all that fun stuff. So
Yes.
advice for her from there. So it's exciting.
Yep. Yeah. Totally agree on that.
Yeah.
All right. And have you guys had any kind of strategy sessions for 2025 yet?
You know what? We have not, to be honest with you. Although I did just print my visual organizer for next year, so I can start goal organizer to try to figure that out. So
good.
It's just crazy how quick time flies. I'm like, oh my goodness, like it's here next year. So
I know. I feel like 2025 has already started.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because Michael Nat, I'm going to call him Nat because his last name is so
hard to pronounce.
Yes, it's very hard. He has us writing up our goals, and I'm glad he did, because I'm realizing, oh, dang, I'm spending lots. I got to make a lot, so I'm ready for it to start now.
Yeah.
As soon as I feel better.
Yes, I know. It's important to do that, you got to look at yourself and your areas where you need some improvement, areas where you excel, and try to just, hone that in and figure out what the best way is to use those resources that are all within us and do some really magical, amazing things with them. But
exactly.
You can't do it if you don't look at yourself in the mirror.
Oh, yeah, I agree. And it's all about holding yourself accountable, finding out what it is that you like to do, and then don't stop. Just get going and don't stop.
Yeah.
Once I'm into covering all of my expenses and then some, I'll be so much better off, because I do like helping other people. And, you got to help yourself first. A judge once told me charity starts at home.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's true. He was telling my ex-husband, actually, who was trying not to give child support. But he did talk about, oh, I give. And he's like, you give.
Yeah. You gotta, charity starts at home, and
it makes it a lot better and easier.
Yeah.
That's a goal of mine, is to make sure that I can give.
Yeah.
So it's all about, holding myself accountable to make sure that I pay for all of this and a whole lot more.
Yeah. And the more we make, the more we can help others. And that's really the beauty of it too.
Yep. For sure.
Pay it forward is big.
Exactly. And what time of morning do you usually get up?
I'm up, 5:30, 6, with the time change, I got a little off kilter, and, but I'm not a night owl. So I'm out early and then I'm up early.
Yeah. I'm like that too, but not now, not right now.
Yeah. This time change has messed me up.
Well, yes, the time change is ridiculous, to say the least. Yeah. And I think that's where Pace has it right. Arizona time.
100%. Like, I would just move to Arizona just for the time, because, it's at 4:30 or 5 o'clock, it's dark, and, you have dinner, and I'm like, oh, okay. Well, it's only 5:30 or 6 o'clock. It's crazy.
Every year I keep thinking, how does society live like this? This is crazy. We should fix it. And there's always talk, but it hasn't happened yet. And I'm like, it certainly couldn't come soon enough.
No, that's true. Please change it. Please.
Absolutely.
I miss going for walks after dinner, at 7:30 and watching the sunset. And, can't do that now.
No, you can't. Anyhow, I'd like to say thank you very, very, very much. And let's stay in touch. I want to see, how I can help you more. How can people help you? Anyone who's watching this in the future or who's watching it now, what do you need or would you like from people to, know or to assist?
That is a great question. I'm kind of still on my little self-discovery journey and figuring out what to do and how to direct my superpowers into something, monetary and supportive. So just trying to, work on that as well. So that's a great question. Follow along on Instagram, and once I have that aha moment, I will be telling everybody I finally figured it out.
Promise me when you do that, you'll come back here.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I would love to,
Yeah.
get on top of that roof with you and just scream it out.
I know what I'm not, we've kind of let what's not as interesting, but there's so many amazing opportunities, and trying to just kind of hone that in for sure.
Absolutely.
Hone that in for sure.
Yeah.
So, but yes, we will shout it from the rooftops.
Yes, for sure. Okay, everyone. Thank you very, very, very much. And we shall see you next week.